Yeah. Oh, yeah. The movie Dojo is back, baby. Yes. Kicking it off in the year 2024. That's right. Hanging out with my main man. That's right. Filmmaker, director, martial artist, actor, writer. He's done it all. Kyle Wong. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year to everyone, you guys, you and Lady Fat Blood, and the rest of the Movie Dojo Army. Thank you for having me.
Yes, man. We are back. We are on fire. Hey, but if you're new here, hey, welcome. Thanks again for chiming in and hanging out with us, action knuckleheads. It's your boy Preston, PhatSamuraiGuy. Welcome, and finally, I feel like The Rock. Finally, PhatSamuraiGuy can finally talk about Silent Night. That's right. Finally, I got. First of all, I finally got around to watching it, and then now we can. Enough time has passed, so just remind everybody this will be spoilers. We're going to have all of the spoilers. Me and Kyle are going to talk about the good and the bad and the badass. I have a feeling we will differ on our rating and our thoughts, or we may be the same. Well, but it's always fun to talk movies, and we agree to disagree. We still have a blast here. Let's see. I've been waiting for this one. People
have been waiting down.
What's going on, Big Kev? The Entertainment Headquarters. Make sure you guys go to his channel and subscribe. He is very passionate, and he's just getting started. Yeah, we got Champ Blaze in the house. What's going on? Oh yeah. Will says, I enjoyed Silent Night. It did have its problems, but it was mostly a fun time. That John Woo action we missed for so long. It's third best Hollywood film after Hard Target and Face Off. Look at that. All right.
What about Mission Impossible 2?
Which is still considered the worst movie in the franchise. But can you have a lot of fun with it? Of course.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Of course. Mission Impossible 2 is, I would put that on good, bad. Great soundtrack, great cinematography, great visuals, some really cool action at the end.
I mean, it was Metallica's best thing.
Metallica's best song, the Limp Bizkit cover was good too.
Yeah, and the Limp Bizkit was there.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not really selling the movie now, am I? Limp Bizkit, the music, Limp Bizkit. You guys remember
Limp Bizkit's in the house, everybody.
The biscuits that's limp. All right, there we go. We got Face Off, one of my favorites, but nothing beats Hard Boiled. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you enjoy this kind of content. All right, let's go on. Oh, we got another one. Brian Sanchez throwing it up. That's how we roll. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so all right, before we get into it, Kyle, go down the plethora of information, the plot synopsis and all that stuff.
Thanks to IMDb. Do you want the short one line or the actual other thing?
You choose.
I'm gonna do both, so I'm gonna go with the long one that states this from legendary director John Woo, and the producer of John Wick comes this gritty revenge tale of a tormented father who witnesses his young son die when caught in a gang's crossfire on Christmas Eve. While recovering from a wound that cost him his voice, he makes vengeance his life's mission and embarks on a punishing training regimen in order to avenge his son's death.
Okay.
And here is the short version. A grieving father enacts his long-awaited revenge against a ruthless gang on Christmas Eve.
Okay, we've heard worse IMDb.
This is a good movie. It is full of action.
This movie has action in it and shooting. Yes, there is blood. There is some blood. That's usually the IMDb plot synopsis here. Egg Shin, what's going on? Hey, what is going down? All right, so I'm going to talk about me leading up to it in terms of my thoughts, and then you could talk about yours, and then we'll just go right into the movie and talk about what we like and we didn't like and stuff like that. Yep. So when this dropped this year, I gotta get used to it. Last year, I gotta used to do it right now. Last year, man, it was a phenomenal year for action movies and martial arts films. I think definitely action in the martial arts genre, and I would even throw in horror,
Mhm.
kind of kicked superhero movies' ass.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But most, we're focusing mostly on action and martial arts. Great year. Action R rate. Think about this, guys. R rated, violent action and martial arts movies did well at the box office. That's kind of unheard of, unless it's the 80s or the 90s, or maybe a little early 2000s, maybe.
Maybe
But
we gotta get the one back.
do that, by the way. That's coming. We will be reviewing Jet Li's The One. We got to do it with Eric, the Asian movie enthusiast.
Mm,
But yeah. I mean, dude, look at John Wick Chapter 4, big bucks. Sisu
yeah.
did well. I mean, this is phenomenal, and especially straight to streaming. There's been great martial arts movies, right? Eye for an
Mhm.
Eye, Blind Swordsman, and all kinds of stuff, and a whole bunch of movies I still didn't even see yet last year. Have you seen Mayhem yet?
Oh, which one was Mayhem again?
Mayhem, bro. I think Mayhem may be coming digitally January 5th. Maybe this week, I think. But I saw the trailer. They posted the trailer towards the end of this year on Instagram, and it blew me away. I was like, "Oh my god." And people were saying that's the best action movie of the year of 2023, but I haven't seen it.
Oh
So,
yeah, that one. The
you
the
seen it?
French the French version of
Yeah.
the so-called The Raid.
Yeah.
I
How
remember
was
seeing that. I
Oh, so you
remember
saw
seeing
the
the trailer.
trailer.
I saw
Okay.
the trailer, but I never saw the full film
Okay.
yet. If it came out yet.
Yeah. We'll review that too together.
Hmm.
Why not? Let's have some fun with that one. So. There you go. Chakra. That was another one. Donnie Yen returning to the wuxia genre. There was all kinds of variety this year. This was a great year. I know there was a few disappointments. This being Silent Night being a lot of people's, I think, most disappointed movie. I think this movie is the most disappointed film in terms of what I've been hearing from people, more so
Hmm.
than Mission Impossible. Dead Reckoning.
Uh, no, it was. Oh yeah, Dead Reckoning Part One. Yeah,
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what Samurai Guy thought about when the trailer dropped for Silent Night. I did an exclusive trailer reaction to the channel members and the patrons only, and this was my reaction. So I heard before even the trailer dropped, I already heard John Woo is going to make an action movie. It's going to be holiday themed, centered around Christmas, and
Mhm.
there's not going to be any dialogue. So I already knew this before the trailer even dropped. Because a lot of the negative comments I'm seeing are people are like, there's no dialogue. 0 stars, no dialogue. It's like, oh my God, okay. All right. Fine. So I already knew that. So I was just kind of, the trailer finally dropped. And I'm like, okay, let me do the trailer. Let me do the trailer reaction. So I was excited because the trailer was fucking great. The trailer is
Mhm.
phenomenal. I was excited watching the trailer, but I wasn't like, I wasn't. How do I put this?
Anticipating.
I had an action boner, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't need to grab tissues. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, I had an action boner, but I didn't need to grab tissues. But I was like, yeah, let's fucking go. John Woo's back. I like Joel Kinnaman now. I'm like, let's hopefully this is kick ass. Trailer was kick ass. Like, hopefully it's good. But not once did I watch that trailer and go, oh my God, he's going to do another hard boiled.
Hmm.
Oh my God, he's going to do another hard boiled. He's going to come back and he's going to spank all the younglings and he's going to show them why he's the leader, why he's the maestro, why he's the innovator, him and his stunt team in the 80s.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Not once. And I think a lot of people did that. They were like, "Oh my God, John Woo's back! This is gonna be amazing. He's gonna
Yeah.
kick John Wick's 4's ass. He's gonna
Yeah.
blow away Extraction 2. He's just gonna destroy everyone." Not once did I think that, and it's kind of funny because I'm kind of like the guy is 77 years old.
Hmm.
Why would we expect a 77 year? I've been thinking 77. I might be wrong. But why would I expect a 77-year-old John Woo who hasn't made anything, since Paycheck?
Yeah. In the
I think
U.S. Yeah.
in the US, since Paycheck with Ben Affleck, which I still have not seen, by the way.
Yeah.
Why would I expect him to do another hard boiled? Some movies you can't replicate.
No. And to make
Okay.
a North America, a Hollywood version of Hard Boiled is
Yeah.
not
Why would I
possible.
expect him to do a movie better than John Wick Chapter 4? Why would I expect that? This is what when I saw in the trailer, this was my expectations for Silent Night. I was like, like a long lost relative, right? He's older than you, he's your senior, and you love the dude, right? And you haven't seen him in a long time. And then he gives you a call. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to be around for the holidays. Let's hang out." You meet up with that old long lost lovable relative, and you see him. You're like, "Come here, I'm gonna give you a noogie." You're like, "Get over here," right? You have dinner. You give him a nice hug or her a nice hug. You remember the good times, and then you move on. That's how I looked at Silent Night before I watched it. That was my expectations. I was not expecting Hard Boiled 2. Okay. I was just kind of like, you know what? It's gonna be fun. Sit down with Uncle John. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna have a cup of Joe. We're gonna talk about the good times, and we're gonna have fun. That's where I was. So was I still disappointed, even though my expectations were not? I want another hard boiled. I want John Woo to kick John Wick's ass. We're gonna get to that in a second. So Kyle, before you saw the movie, what was your anticipation?
Well, I was working on a show, a really shit show, while the trailer came out, and I just sat there like I'm watching this whatever I'm doing behind me, and I just remember watching it. And I was like, "This looks interesting. This looks interesting. This looks interesting," and I knew that it was going to be a silent, like no dialogue film, and I just said in my head, "This is going to be interesting to watch." Like to do a
Yeah,
whole film with no dialogue, how is everyone gonna communicate with each other? And not only that, I have seen it happen because a friend actually did do his own like his own a dialogue free martial arts action film back in like 2007,
right.
2009. And I remember watching that and I was just like, this is an interesting concept. Is it gonna be is it gonna happen again? I don't know. And then cut to now here's Silent Night. No dialogue. And I was like, okay. And
Yeah,
I remember watching the trailer and I was like, okay, okay. And I just kept thinking in my head, like, this is John Woo now after Paycheck. And I was trying to think, what other modern action movie did he do recently? And I'm like,
right.
and it wasn't Paycheck. I'm like, no, it was Manhunt. And I was like, oh yeah,
Now
Manhunt.
I have not seen Manhunt. I've heard some things. Uh, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be starting a new series soon called Catching Up, and I'm gonna pick an
Yeah.
actor or a director, and I'm gonna start for the month. I'm gonna pick an actor or director and start watching some of the movies that I've missed. There's no way I could be able to do all of it, and I think I'm gonna do John soon. Just
Yeah.
for better or for worse. Fuck it. There's Jackie Chan. There's tons of movies I
Yeah.
have not seen yet, so I'm just playing catch up. So stay tuned for that series. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
But yeah, like I remember watching Manhunt and I was just like, okay, if this is basically the film that's produced by the people that greenlit John Wick, I'm like, okay, this is basically two one entity meeting the old guard and trying to modernize it all together. And I'm like, okay, let's see how they can modernize what John Woo made. And because I could see it happening in the trailer, and I just like, how's this gonna unfold in the film? And yeah, that's the way I put it. I was like, I want to see how John Wick,
You're
or
curious.
I, 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 I want to see how John Woo actually adapts
Okay.
to the new style in modern
Okay.
filmmaking today. That
Okay.
was basically the mindset
Interesting.
that I had.
Interesting. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Before we get into it, shout out to John Bonney, certified badass channel member for 30 months. That's right. Sir, you know what you're getting, right? You know it's coming here. You know you're getting the Redford. We gotta, we gotta,
Yeah.
we gotta do it. We gotta do that now. But
Oh,
what happened?
it's Matt.
Oh shit! Yes. Well, spoilers. I was leading up to it. We're gonna have a special. We're gonna have a special guest, filmmaker, give his review towards the end before we rate it. Kyle, don't make me
Oh,
forget.
okay.
We have a
Yep.
special review. But it's good to see you, Matt. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. All right. All right. Okay, well, let's jump right into it now. Let's get into it. Don't forget, everybody that's watching, this will be spoilers here. Right off the bat, opening action sequence I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know, for some reason, Joel Kinnaman running looked funny. I don't know what it looked weird.
It
And for a
it
second,
was
I was like, I know this motherfucker ain't chasing the balloon, is he? Like right in the beginning, because the way
Yeah.
it's shot, it's like balloon and then Joel Kinnaman.
And
I
I
was
was
like,
just
is he trying to get the balloon?
and I'm
But
like,
yeah,
I remember seeing that and I was just like this going, "Is he going after them or," and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna sit back and see where this goes. I'm gonna sit back and see where this goes." And then yeah, it was just
yeah,
him running and then seeing where they were shooting each other. I was like, yeah, the opening car chase and the action scene was
good
really well
stuff.
done.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
the
for
use of
sure.
the slow mo to actually accentuate some of the action was really
Right.
well done
Yeah.
as well.
Yes. Very, very well done. Very
Hmm.
well done. Notice the difference between John Woo slow mo
Hmm.
and what everyone's saying about Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's slow mo. People are like, why is there slow mo when it doesn't need to be slow mo in certain scenes? I
Hmm.
still need to watch Rebel Moon, but I'm waiting for the director's cut there. But anyway, very well done. Clean.
Yes, very clean.
That's what I want to talk about right now. I'm jumping the gun here, but the
Mhm.
action in this movie is very clean,
Mhm.
shot well. I
Yes.
like it. It's interesting because it's actually not as stylized as
No.
your typical John Woo film, and I think that was a big letdown for some fans.
Hmm.
I'll get to my disappointment when we get towards the end.
Hmm.
But in terms of the action, it was like a scaled back Woo, but not bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, did we want to see Joel Kinnaman rolling and sliding down steps like gun, like
Yeah, the dual
did,
wielding akimbo
would that be
style, and
accepted today? Let's be honest. Would that be accepted
yeah,
in today's audience?
that's actually an interesting. Again, that's an interesting
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, some people would say yes because look at how over the top the John Wick Chapter 4 action scenes are. But here's the thing with 8711 style, it's really over the top.
Yes.
But there is that the movement, there is that some of that realism is in there.
Yes.
What the John Wick films, at least the later sequels, get criticized for is it's so over the top. It's almost Bollywood level to where
Yes.
John Wick is Gumby.
Yeah.
You throw him out of the window, he's gonna land 30 floors on the concrete and get up and keep limping. And I'm a huge John Wick franchise fan. I had Marco Zaror here on the channel. We both gushed about the movie, but that's what the John Wick films get criticized for. Is it's not realistic, but it is like the
Yeah.
movement is right. So would anybody watching John Wick say they do another? Well, they're probably going to do another John Wick, right? Would
Hmm.
anyone accept Keanu Reeves rolling and sliding down the banister, shooting like this?
That yeah. Let us know in the chat because that is
Yeah. Would anybody accept that now?
because again,
I would. I don't have an issue with it because we grew up with that shit, Kyle.
we did,
But
and it's
today's audience, is that dated now? The stuff that got really popular, with Face Off, and it got really popular. Then you have movies like The Big Hit.
yeah.
Everyone was copying John Woo's style in the 90s.
Yes.
Now, would that type of style be popular now? People sliding on the ground, rolling, you know what I mean? Like, would that be popular today?
The thing is, it has to be. it has to be
Or
how
would they
the
laugh at it? Let's be honest. Would they laugh if Joel Kinnaman ran, dove through air, shot some bullets like this through air slow mo, landed, and was still sliding on the ground, shooting like this, right, on his chest, and then he gets up, jumps, hits the railing, rolls down the railing like Mark Wahlberg in Big Hit? Would people laugh at that now? Let's. This is a good topic.
this is a good topic, and honestly, on my side of it, it would have made sense in this movie.
Okay.
Honestly, it would have made sense in this movie if it went that route. If it went that route. Like, but the fact that they kept, and someone actually mentioned it in the comments, that it was very grounded and realistic. The fact that this film actually felt grounded and realistic with the gun
Yeah.
battles and action scenes, it was like it wasn't really needed as much, but at the same time, like
Yeah.
if it was a heightened sense of that reality that
Right.
really accentuated the gun battles even more, it would have made sense. Like in this movie, of you see Joel Kinnaman, like, you know what, I need to. There's like 5 guys out there. I need to fucking get out, and then just bust through the door and just start doing this repeatedly. And instead, you
Yeah.
got Kid Cudi
Yeah.
dual wielding, which we'll get to that
I'm gonna
after.
get to that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get to
we'll get to
that.
that.
But
But yeah,
again, we grew up with that stuff.
we grew up with
We
that,
we
and
love that stuff. I can watch Hard Boiled now,
mhm,
and it's just like
it
I
just
watched it for
works,
the first time.
and it
Yeah,
still
it just
works.
works. And
Whereas,
Hard Boiled cannot be topped. It's very
mhm,
difficult to top Hard Boiled. Like,
and
good luck topping Hard
whereas
Boiled.
I don't
But today's audience, would they accept that kind of everything is tactical now. I
it
love the
is,
psychography and the action movement now.
mhm,
Absolutely love it. But everything is very tactical.
yeah, and that is.
Counter striking. It's
It's
not.
very close quarters, very
Yeah,
tactical. Everyone is doing that type of movement. Even in Baby Assassins, they
right,
have that
right.
style.
We
And
we love it. We love all
yeah,
that stuff. Yeah,
but that's what we're now into mostly, is just that it is kind of that weird fad. Like, for example, like if we remember back in 2003, we had Ong back, literally all Muay Thai elbows and that hard hitting,
yeah,
and then just a little bit of that small moment in 2004, 2005 was District B13, all the parkour craze,
right,
all the
right.
parkour craze,
Yeah,
and everything after that was MMA,
right.
and we had Flashpoint to thank that. Fuck, never back down. One. Um, but the MMA craze was taking
Yeah,
over with like all the grappling and everything else. But then when John Wick came out, it's now all the tactical kind of style,
right,
combat style,
right,
where it is still to that kind of way where you don't
right.
really see
And the
much.
raid, the violence getting kicked
Yes,
up
the
to 11. Yeah,
got kicked up to 11, and but yet you could still see that type of,
right,
what's it called,
right.
and the fact that, again, as you said, we're gonna be doing catch up, which I hope to talk about Baby Assassins one day, because Baby Assassins fucking blew my mind, and that is my top fight scenes, honestly.
That's
There's
it.
that is
We should
no.
review. Maybe we'll review that too in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah, there
but
we go. The person has convinced me that now I hope to see sliding down a banister and dueling John Wick 5. It can work with the John Wick franchise. Like I said, it's a good question to bring up
it, yeah,
because we don't have that in the John Wick type movies.
and honestly,
That type of style from the 80s and early
I
90s. We don't
don't.
have that. So that would be interesting.
This is my honest opinion. It doesn't
Yeah.
work in the John Wick universe. It doesn't work in that whole universe at all, doing that, because they've never set it up that
Oh,
kind of.
Matt, I'm gonna get to that.
Hmm.
You're gonna be mad at me too. We're gonna but
Yeah,
yeah, let's get back to the movie. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
good,
I
good
don't think it
questions and topics here.
it would not fit in the John Wick universe, dual wielding and anything else. Like, odds are they're watching this right now and they're like, "We'll fucking make it work. Fuck you." But at the
Hey,
same time,
challenge, fuck it. Let's
yeah.
combine both. Let's go.
If
Let's
they do,
go.
I will be surprised, and I'll be like, "Okay,
Yeah,
if you guys fucking did it, I'll eat my
yeah,
shoe now." But it doesn't work in the John Wick universe because of how they made everything so quick and very close
right,
quarter combat heavy.
right.
In a If it worked in a different film,
Yeah,
not so much Silent Night, but something else that was action heavy. Someone mentioned One Shot. Okay, that's different. if it happened in, oh man, there's.
I have a great example. This is the perfect example right here.
Mhm.
And one of the greatest action finales in movie history is Better Tomorrow 2.
Yes.
It's fucking insanity.
Yes.
Good luck trying to top that.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, here's a good example. I see people in the chat. You're making me smile, wanting to see John Woo type of action in John Wick films in the future. And you're making me smile. But would you accept it if at the end of John Wick Chapter 4, instead of having the draw between Wick and Donnie Yen, they shot the shit out of each other first, both fell down, and then, as a code of honor, instead of just continuing to shoot each other and see who wins, they stop and look at each other, and then they both slide each other's pistols to each other, and whoever grabs the pistol slid to them first shoots them and wins. That's what happened at the end of Better
Of
Tomorrow 2 with
yes.
Cheyenne Fat and his rival.
Hmm.
Or would the audience go, why the fuck did they do that? This is a good question. That's another good example. Would you guys accept that? Donnie and Keanu Reeves, they both fall down, they both look at each other, and they go, code of honor. I could just shoot you, but fuck it. Slide. Oh, I got it. Boom, I can win. Would you guys accept that? I love the shit out of it. I look because it's that era, and it blew my fucking mind. John Woo back then in the 80s with his action team,
Yeah.
stunt team, could not be touched. So it worked. Would that work today? Which is kind of why I don't mind the action being a little less stylized in Silent Night. But then when it gets stylized, I get excited, and then the disappointment comes, at least for me. And we're gonna get to it in a second here. Hold on. Yep. So yeah, what Godlock. I mean, listen to that name.
The name Godlock.
This is an 80s movie here.
Yeah.
Okay, Godlock here. I mean, this is in many ways. Even Lady Fatblood, while watching this with me, was like, "Dude, this feels like an 80s film." In a way, in some parts. But yeah, he's trying to go after these dudes that shot his son in a drive-by, and he ends up decapitating one of them, which was fucking great.
Yep.
But the main villain, I think his name is Playa.
Yeah.
Is it Playa? Godlock and Playa, bro. We're in the 80s. We're in the early 90s here. It doesn't go well. He gets shot in the neck. Playa walks away, thinks he killed him. And then we have a sequence of recovery, like a montages with no dialogue. And I think Joel Kinnaman's a good actor. A lot of people did not. A lot of the negative comments was, this guy can't act. Another negative comments I came across was, this guy is not an action star. He's not believable. And what's funny is I guarantee you these are the same people that loved his fight against John Cena in the Suicide Squad, which was the best one-on-one fight in that movie. And if you guys are curious, I had the legendary Richard Norton here on the channel, and we talked about that fight, and we actually showed previs footage of Joel Kinnaman training and taking bumps and the stuntman doing all that. We did all that. So I think that's interesting because people love that fight. But in this movie, he's garbage. What did you honestly think? You may think he's garbage, Kyle. What did you think of Joel's acting and physical performance?
Aside from fucking what's it called? Aside from basically being a what's it called? What was it? The story that aside from being in RoboCop 2014, I totally tried to lock that part. And yeah, aside from being in RoboCop 2014, Joel Kinnaman actually can act, and the fact that I want to see him do something very different on this, and I was like interested in seeing how that would actually work with him doing what he does in this film. And for him not to use any dialogue, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
So it was really good to see like Joel Kinnaman do something.
Yeah. I thought his acting was great. I mean, for what little he was given, you know. Rick Myers brought up when he was talking about his thoughts on the film. He said that this was a gimmick movie. The no dialogue was a gimmick film,
Hmm.
and whatchamacallit, even Frank Jang was disappointed in the movie, which kind of lessened, which is kind of one of the reasons I didn't go out and rush and see it right away,
Hmm.
was because Rick and Frank were kind of like, yeah, with it. And there's another no dialogue film out there that a lot of people love. I mentioned it before. It's on Hulu. It's a sci-fi suspense thriller, and it's called No One Can Save You or something like
Hmm.
that. And that was one of the best sci-fi suspense movies I've seen. That ending, though, similar to Silent Night, yeah, I got issues with the ending for that.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit, um, overall, the no dialogue, in comparison to this film, did work a little bit better. My problem with the no dialogue, see, people were like, there's no dialogue. I hate this. Worst
Hmm.
movie of the year, 0 stars. I had absolutely no issue with no dialogue. A lot of
Yeah.
people said this movie is extremely boring and they want their money back. I did not think this movie was boring. I
Hmm.
will get to my frustrations and disappointment a little bit later. What's up, Sexy Sumo? What's going on, man? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Um, there you go. No one will save you. There you go.
Hmm.
There you go. But let me get back to where we were at here. Yeah, but I thought he did a good job. So in terms of acting, my
Yes.
issue, my issue with the no dialogue was you ended up hearing dialogue later.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what was kind of the point?
It was.
You might as well just made him not be the only one, like Rick said, not be
Yeah.
the only one who didn't speak, but everybody else spoke.
Yeah, like
Yes.
everyone in the world, and even his wife was like doing small whispers, and I was like, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." I was like, "Hmm,
Yeah,
okay." And then for them to actually text everything,
right, right.
which
Yeah,
was,
yeah. But like they should have just made the whole movie that. But
mhm,
later people talk,
yeah,
so it's kind of like, okay. Again, these are
mhm,
nitpicks here. But yeah, it's rough coming home. He ends up surviving. And for a second there, it looked like their marriage was on the rocks too, because
yeah,
he's just in a drunken stupor every day, and it's just it's understandably rough. One of the
yes,
positive things about this film that people don't mention, I haven't heard anybody mention really, is the really creative scene transitions
hmm,
in the film. Like really great stuff. Like Godlock would go into his son's room and he
yeah,
laid down in the bed, and then the camera would go move like that, and then it's like he's in the bed with his son caressing his
yeah,
head, and then it would come back and he's there and the son's gone. Like
hmm,
there's some really creative. There's some odd stuff too. Like
oh yeah,
when the like I was like, oh, this is cool, creative scene transitions, and
mhm,
then you'd have weird stuff like when the wife shows up in the hospital. You had the John Woo zoom ins on her eye from three different perspectives.
yeah,
I was like, what do we do? What, John? John? Why did you do that? It was like, rip, rip, like, okay. It's not an action scene, but all right. It was weird. So there's some off moments like that. But yeah, so at this point, he's just like, fuck it. I love the fact that his wife said peace out.
yeah,
I thought we were going to get uh, the usual, I'm going to stay by my man and die.
yeah,
I'm going to die later or get in the way. No, she's like, no, Pete, no.
yeah. I'm out.
Our relationship's on the rocks. I need space. That was perfect. Perfect. That was great. But at this point, he's a man on a mission. He's a
Yes.
man on a mission, man, and he's training. He's watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, like yeah, literally watching the bullshit McDojo life bullshit that you see on fucking YouTube. I just sat there like, this is how you're gonna learn is from these fucking McDojo motherfuckers. Okay, you know what? Sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
and someone Finkster actually just brought up that it feels like Death Sentence, the movie with Kevin Bacon, and I was like, it did feel like that because he doesn't know how to like
Right.
fire a gun or do any of this shit.
Right.
And the fact that we do spend that time with him training and actually him like learning how to use a gun, how to actually stab a dude too. Like, and I like the fact too that this movie, he's not overpowering. He is
No.
a human, like a
Yeah.
human person. And that's why I say like in this movie, it made sense for him not to do that because it does feel realistic and
Right.
grounded that you don't expect him to actually like go out and just start flying with a shotgun, flying with two wielding guns. Like
Yeah.
Epitome was like again, like you said, like we grew up with John Woo
Yeah.
feeling that, but
Yeah.
here it didn't feel like it needed at certain points.
No. No.
And
But
that's
then
where
when it teases you with it later, then you're like, oh, we're here now. And then
yeah.
I'll get to my disappointment. So
Hmm.
but yeah, he's even training with both hands, I thought
Yeah.
was interesting. But they didn't really capitalize on that,
Hmm.
which I wanted more of, which we'll get to towards the end. But yeah, he's a man on a mission. He goes after the people. He's mostly just trying to get information at this point. He's spying on them, taking pictures. And I like the scene where he sees the guy walk right. He's going to go.
Yeah.
He's getting some groceries, and he sees Playa literally just walk right by him,
Yeah.
and he's like giving kids money and ice cream or whatever he was doing over there, and
Literally.
he's like, holy shit, I got him right here. Can I kill
Yeah.
this dude right here? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Venus punks him out and pours some I don't know, was she poured ice cream on him? I forgot what she
It,
poured on
it, it
him
almost
that
looks like a McShamrock shake.
day.
It probably
or a
was.
Nickelodeon awards show. So he's a Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good scene. But the scene leading up to that was good though, because when he came out of the grocery store, he ran into a kid that reminded him of his son.
Yeah.
And that was really good acting there because he
Hmm.
stops and looks at him and then he just grabs him
Yeah.
and he just holds him. And the kid, he doesn't know what's going on.
Hmm.
Of course, his mom comes by. He's like, "What the fuck?" And grabs
Yeah.
him. But that was a really good scene. Again, we'll get to the end later. We'll get to the end later. But again, the slow burn buildup, the montages, the memory montages with his son and his family, which bored everyone, and they turned it off, and they gave the movie 0 stars. Had no issues with it.
Yeah.
Now we get to the fun stuff. So he is preparing. He's putting bulletproof vests inside of his car. Like, this is where, when we got to this part of the film, I was like, this feels like a genre movie.
Hmm.
This feels like John Woo directed a genre film in the vein of Death Wish,
Hmm.
The Punisher. I think Nathan said it. Shout out to Nathan in the chat now. I think I saw your comment. He said this is the best Max Payne movie ever made.
I'm never gonna let that fucking movie go.
Oh, that was one of the versus episodes we did that hurt.
Mhm.
That hurt. And was it we voted for which one was worse or which one was
Hitman.
better?
Hitman was,
No, was it like the winner was the worse of the two or the winner was better of the two? I think it
I
was
think,
better.
slightly better.
Yeah,
Slight-
Hitman beat Max Payne, but if
which
you want
was
a lot of hilariosity moments, check out that versus episode here on the channel, Hitman versus Max Payne. But yeah, I was really, especially seeing him like this, and especially the interrogation scene
Mhm.
here when he's trying to get information. He's trying to get the guy to write down information of who's laundering the money, like just incriminating himself.
Yeah.
All this, dude, right off the bat, I immediately went to Exterminator 2 from the 80s,
Yeah.
this movie is great. It's one of the best genre film action revenge B movies of the 80s. This is fucking phenomenal. It's a lot better than the first Exterminator, in my opinion. All he needed was a flamethrower.
Yeah.
That's really all. And I was like, this feels like John Woo's doing a genre film
Mhm.
in the vein of Death Wish and The Exterminator. And you know what? I'm kind of digging it up to this point.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And look, it's not better than John in the action. It's like, if you want to compare action, is the fights in this better than the fights in John Wick? Is it better than the fights in all the other movies this year? No, but I think the two big main fights in this film are underrated.
Hmm.
I think they're very underrated because, dude, they're fucking brutal.
Oh yeah,
They're fucking brutal, getting slammed on the table.
yeah,
I love the getting stabbed in the leg. This felt realistic in a way.
yeah. Which again, the fact that we've all been saying that this is a very grounded, brutal film, and again, Joel Kinnaman's playing a character that's just come out of the hospital, and it's just an everyday normal person that just is trying to get revenge, but he doesn't know how to do these things. Again, he learned from the McDonald's McDojo life of martial arts, and yet,
But
and
dude,
yet, he
brutal,
held. Yeah.
satisfying. You could
Hmm.
see the action, like
Yes.
brutal.
Hmm.
And again, I read a whole bunch of comments where people are like, "Man, he got his ass kicked. This is fucking horrible. This movie's bad." I'm like, dude, do you want a guy to be who has no military background at all to just murk everyone? Like he does in a way,
Hmm.
but do you want it to be that easy? I
Yeah.
love it when our heroes get their asses kicked.
Hmm. You
I've
get
said
to
that
feel that.
before. Yeah, I said that many times here on the channel. You're like, oh shit, the hero, the badass, he's getting fucked up right
Yeah.
now. All right, I'm even more invested, right? Yeah, love this fight, and we'll get to the second fight, which is even better towards the end. Love it, love it. But he's on his rampage. Yeah, they let him make mistakes,
Hmm.
learn. Yes, this is great. Yes, you don't get that realistic feeling in action films anymore.
Nope.
Yeah. But I feel so sorry for this cop. Like
Yeah.
the poor I feel so she was literally in the middle of a block war. I mean,
Yeah.
this was like and I felt so sorry for her because the cops the cops like took forever to get there. Like
Yeah.
I was like, dude, World War III is happening in this area here, and you guys are taking your sweet time.
And the fact that he took the time to try and save her, and then
Yeah,
we see what happens to her, and you're just like,
yeah,
and he's just like looking and just
yeah,
pushes her out. I was like, damn, that is hard on him to do that, but
yeah,
it made
yeah,
sense for him to do
yeah.
that.
But
'Cause-
again, having these little spurts of
Mhm.
satisfactory kills of him running
Yeah.
people over. I loved when the couple that got mugged. I
Hmm.
loved how he just rammed his car up against their legs and it
Yeah.
just started shaking the dude right there.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. I was like, yes. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. And it was great. He just like showed up in the middle of the block war, and
Yeah.
while both sides are he kind of pulled a Yojimbo in a way.
Yeah.
He kind of pinned both gangs against each other.
Hmm.
So while they're killing each other, he's just rolling up around, just taking dudes out.
Just literally how GTA works. Just go around. Yep. 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 Okay.
Oh.
Now can I go against the guy? Okay. Cool.
And Playa tells his head minion, "Hey, we need to kill this motherfucker, man. We need to get get this dude." And another again, people keep saying how boring this movie is.
Hmm.
This had way more action than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because right after this scene, we had this scene
Yeah.
where I love how he just slow motion just drifted right up to
Yeah.
him and just started guns ablazing, man.
So, anyways,
And
I just started blasting.
I just started blasting. I should have got that clip there.
Oh, good.
Uh, all right, but yeah, just some really good stuff. So, this on my list to watch. I'm going to be doing a Jesse V. Johnson catch up. I think at some point. I need to catch up to the legend. But now let's get to some of the cracks in the movie here. Now, John Woo always loves themes, right? You
Hmm.
have the face-off theme where you had the family thing where they grab the face and when he puts it
Yeah.
over his son, right? They
Yeah.
had that. They had the theme song that kept coming back. The theme song in this was kind of done. The theme for him and his son was kind of played a little bit too much. I get the music box significance. It's something he remembers with him and his son enjoying, right? They hammered that too much, in my opinion. Like when it got to, oh no, the music box is broken. I was like, oh. And then Lady Fabulous was like, oh, what are we doing? Because it was just like when John Woo is subtle, he's a master.
Mm-hmm.
When he subtly puts things in. But when he starts hammering stuff, it comes on the line of cheese. You start rolling your eyes, which gets fucking worse at the end. All right, we're gonna get to that. So again, Lady Fat Blood's starting to check out. I'm like fine. That I'm still on board.
Mm.
Me, and Lady Fat up to this point, we looked at each other and we're like, why does everybody hate this movie? We were looking at it, we were talking, we were like, dude, me and Lady Fat enjoyed this movie. We were like all the way up. We didn't care about the slow burn. We didn't care about the no dialogue. The action is so far was satisfying, violent, brutal. You could see it. Like we were on board, you know? And we both stopped and looked at each other. We were like, something bad's gonna happen later, isn't it? Something bad is gonna happen later. It's gonna fucking ruin it, isn't it? And I'm like, don't say it. I'm like, don't say that, God damn it. We're still here. We're still watching. So we're still watching, and now it's the revenge is increasing here. Let's go. He sends him. We got a cool little scene with him on a bike, and now we're at the finale here. Of course, he's been sending messages to Kid Cudi to kind of bring him on board and stuff like that. And now we get to the finale. Now we're getting to the finale here. So again, when he puts on that coat jacket, like Nathan said, Max Payne, I was thinking of Chow Yun Fat's long coat. I was thinking of Punisher's coat. And I was like, dude, this is a nice, fun little action movie. Like, this is John Woo doing a genre film in the vein of Death Wish.
Yeah.
There's even another movie, another scene that reminded me of Death Wish is, I think after the stabbing and the shaking, like his first kill, he throws up.
Yeah.
That's from Death Wish.
Yeah. Because
Charles Bronson's first kill, he gets sick.
Because
I was like,
you don't know how to react after you just killed someone. You would
especially like that,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
yeah, like that was I was like, I see these little nods.
mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe he was homaging the Exterminator. I mean, you never know. I know it's kind of a Hail Mary there, but I just love that movie. That movie makes me smile. But now he comes in with a motorcycle, guns ablazing, and I think before he goes up the steps here and he takes out those guys on the ground level,
Yeah.
I think that's the one and only time we see him change guns, pistols.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just because I knew it was gonna be like he was like starting off a pistol, then does a shotgun, then goes back to a pistol, and I was just like, is he gonna dual wield here? Is he gonna do it? And then next thing I know, explosion. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You guys have to remind me because I've only seen this movie once. I thought at one point he does that and does that, but it's brief.
Yeah.
So they didn't really capitalize that much on him training like this,
Mm-hmm.
which I was kind of expecting it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But look at this shot here.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is fucking the Punisher.
Yeah.
This is Death Wish. You put Charles Bronson right there. This is fucking Death Wish 3. Okay, this is Max Payne. I mean, this is great, dark and gritty stuff, and we get some really great a solid body count. I would say, definitely get a solid body count. Are they idiots for constantly running out there and getting shot? Sure.
Sure. Again, a better tomorrow too. Coming out the door and then
But like again, this is why you're here though.
Yes.
Like if you're not enjoying this at this point, then why did you buy the ticket, right? Why did you rent
why are you here? Why are you here?
Exactly. But yeah, good stuff here. Again, not really stylized. Okay. Another good example of stylized in John Woo, in a way, John Woo style. A movie I love. A movie I feel is underrated. Sorry, spoilers for from upcoming underrated video. Shoot 'em up. I love Shoot 'em up. I think Shoot 'em up's great. Look at Shoot 'em up's action and tell me, does that work in a John Wick movie universe. All right, let's kick John Wick out of an airplane, and while he's falling, John Wick is shooting people while falling, while AC/DC's playing in the background. Again, I love it. It's ridiculous, and it's supposed to be. It's
Impaling
supposed to be
people with
ridiculous.
carrots.
Yeah, carrot to the eye. Right?
Having sex with
Again,
Monica Bellucci while shooting a bunch of dudes.
fucking amazing. Fucking amazing, right? Would you guys accept that? So again, good question to talk about. So now another great fight. Brutal, dude. I did see a few positive comments saying that this reminded them of just a fight that takes place in the Raid movie. It's satisfying without the salat.
And it also reminded me of Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, like
yeah. Oh yeah. With Scott
because they're
Adkins
grabbing and Dolph Lundgren grabbing guns and just shooting at each other.
Yeah. Again, another underrated fight sequence, in my opinion, that has again a violent and satisfying finale to it.
Oh yeah.
Lady Fat Blood smiled.
Yeah.
She smiled. We both smiled, looked at each other. We were like, we both did a John Wick. We went, yeah. Yeah. So again, enjoying all of this brutality and knocking each other through walls, like enjoying all of this. And now we're gonna get to my disappointment, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, Kevin, you got to watch Shoot 'Em Up. It's so much fun, man. It is a blast. Don't listen to the critics; they don't know what they're talking about. All right, anyway. Now Kid Cudi shows up, right?
Yep.
Again, at this point, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm like, all right, we're getting some good shit here, right? And then Kid Cudi shows up, and all of a sudden, it's a John Woo movie starring Chow Yun-fat.
Yeah.
Like in movie, like the style completely
changes.
It goes up to 11, which is what we're used to with John Woo. We're used to 11. Just watch Hard Target. Watch Hard Target. I love Hard Target, by the way. But yeah, he slides, dual wields, and does a better dual wielding than Joel Kinnaman did, who barely dual wielded, and he takes out like 8 dudes right here.
Yeah.
And this was my reaction. I started to crack my smile that I already had went up more. I was like, oh shit, we gonna get a team up now? Are we gonna get a team up now? Are we gonna get like at the end of The Killer or Hard Boiled, where it's gonna be even a bigger body count now? Like at that point, when this happened, I was like, oh shit, we're going there. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So at that moment, my expectations went up, and then we run into fucking Venus, and I'm sorry, but after slide and taking out 15 dudes, Joel Kinnaman and the other guy gets shot at, and all she's doing, sorry, look at her,
it's spraying paint.
That's all she's doing is this.
Spraying paint.
That's all she's doing while having an O face. That's all she's doing. And I'm like, why are our heroes getting fucked up now? When they took out an army earlier, why is one female standing there just doing this? And they're getting their asses kicked. Now, I know Joel Kinnaman at that point, he was a little injured already. Right? But I'm just kind of like, okay. Again, my expectations went way up before this happened. So I'm expecting a ridiculous, amazing, badass finale now. And all we get is this, right? And I thought it would have been a lot cooler since she's the druggie. How much more interesting it would have been if she gets in a crazy firefight with them and they shoot the fuck out of her and she's still coming. That would have been way more interesting.
Or they could have done it like they did not full slow-mo, but like how Dredd did it for her. If they actually did it that way.
Right.
But no, we didn't get that.
That would have been like that would have been a fun idea. Or after fucking the cootie that's a kid, Chow Yun-fat's his way into the movie. Let's see her Chow Yun-fat. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's see her. Oh, I'm taking both of you guys out. Boom, 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 boom. Slide, spin. Fuck it at this point. But no, tee hee. I'm just going to stand there and just do this. And it fucks up our hero. And then what makes it even more frustrating, after the tee-heeing, he gets the drop on her. And then he stares at her for a long time. And then she gives him the tee-hee googly eyes, googly, oogly, moogly. And then he decides not to shoot her. And then she shoots him and then turns and shoots fucking Kid Cudi. I was like, I was getting mad. I was like, what the fuck is that? You just took out an army earlier. Are you serious? And Lady Fat Blood brought up a good point. Why didn't they do like what he did with the son coming out of the grocery store? Right at that moment was the perfect moment to when he's staring at her. For a split second, he sees his wife.
Which I honestly thought that there was probably a connection between her and his wife. And I was like, was she a sister at one point? Is that why?
No.
He stopped,
no,
but
because she's a girl.
Yeah, she's just a random fucking druggy girl that basically is like, oh, I feel bad that I'm gonna shoot you.
But that would have made sense. He's already injured. Maybe he's like out of it.
Yeah.
And he looks at her and he hesitates. She gives him the googly oogly moogly eyes, right? And he's for a split second insert his wife. He sees his wife for a second and hesitates. Give us something, but no. She shoots him because he's a fucking dumbass. And then he gets Kid Cudi shot. And I'm like, what are we doing now, movie? What the fuck are we doing now? What are we doing? But it gets better.
Yeah.
It gets better. So Playa, who was introduced as the most hardcore, badass villain of all time, well, the expectation for a great one-on-one shootout or at least a great one-on-one fight, no, fuck you if that's what you wanted, because we got dancing. That's all you're going to fucking get. You're going to see Playa dance. Yay! Yay! That's all you get. During all this bloodshed, during all this carnage, that's all you get. When you finally get to the top of the mountain, you finally get to the final boss, he just danced. That's it. He just danced. And then we have the showdown, and he still fails. He gets up there, and he still fails to kill this motherfucker. And the most unclimactic, unsatisfying John Woo finales I think in history, maybe in history, for a John Woo action film. The most boring, just nothing. I'd rather have them shoot the shit out of each other and slide the fucking guns to each other. That wouldn't make any sense, but at least something happened instead of dancing. Jesus fucking Christ. And then he fails. And then he had to get saved by injured, wounded Kid Cudi. So had to save him, and he ends up shooting this dude. And then, it gets better. It gets better. Then Joel Kinnaman gets on top of him, and he starts to choke, right? And I still don't know if he choked him out and killed him, or the guy just died from Kid Cudi's gunshot wound. Do we know? It doesn't matter. Why? Because we had horrible scene transition. Remember, I was praising the scene transitions earlier. I was praising them earlier. Oh, no, you fucked it all up. So now, while he's doing chokety choke, the guy's big ass, what are these things? Christmas ornament lamp?
Ornament, yeah, the ornament.
Large Christmas ornaments.
Christmas balls.
Yeah, Christmas balls. While he's choking, we have a side shot. Well, keep in mind, this looks worse, I'm sure, in 4K than it looked in the theater. Just remember, just keep that in mind. So he's choking him out. Fucking horrible. He's choking him out. And then Christmas giant ball ornament comes by, and then you see his son playing. And it looked so fucking terrible. And I was like, dude, you are ruining You are ruined. You are giving me, excuse me, some of the biggest blue balls for a finale ever. What are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Right? So that was bad enough. And then either he choked him and got the kill, or the guy just died from Kid Cootie's gunshot wound. And then he rolls over and he's dying. I have no issues with our anti-hero dying. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of our anti-heroes die all the time.
Yeah.
Or they live to fight another day. And then when he rolls over, he's laying there. And while he's laying there, he's looking up at the Christmas ornaments above him. And the first goddamn thing you see is where? What the fuck are we doing? What happened? I feel like we're driving a Lamborghini, and right at the end of the street, we're almost home. We had a great ride.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost home to get laid. The hottest chick ever is waiting for you inside, and you got a booty call. You're on your way home. You had a great ride, and right around the corner, tires just blow, and you're stuck there, and you're fucked. What the fuck? We know whose decision it is. Now, Rick Myers said that he read the script before the actual written result, and he said it was supposed to be like that. He was supposed to see, like, life flash before your eyes with him and his son. It was supposed to be this dramatic thing. You see when the son is born, and then blah, 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 blah. It looked like garbage in 4K. It looked hilarious, completely dethroned and derailed any momentum the movie had. And me and Lady Fabula were like, well, there it is. We were like, what the fuck? Why? Why did we do this? Why did we do this? It was so bad, eye-rolling, cheesy, and not in a good way, not even in a fun B-movie way.
No.
And here's another reason why I'm against this even happening. It looked like shit, and it completely derailed the film. But another reason why I'm against this is because we had the first opening fucking 30 minutes of memory montages already. We had memory montages throughout the whole goddamn movie. We didn't need another reminder of where when he was fucking born.
Yeah.
We didn't need that again. Jesus Christ, bro.
Like, here's the thing. I think the trailer summed up the whole film properly by just showing, like, yeah, here's a happy moment. And then, oh, fuck. Gang, like, let's actually have a face-off opening proper where you have Joel Kinnaman on Christmas Eve with his son and his wife. And then, oh, shit, what happened? And then chasing after the fucking guys and then go on from there. We didn't need any of those, like, flashbacks whatsoever. Honestly.
Like, dude, maybe if we had a satisfying fight, whether it's physical or gun wielding. They should have just, if Kid Cudi was already there, hello, Kid Cudi and him versus them two.
Yeah.
Why am I constantly coming up with better ideas?
Yeah.
This is John Woo. This is the action maestro. Why am I constantly coming up with better ideas?
And especially, like,
it doesn't look like he wrote this movie.
No, he definitely
had nothing to do with the script.
No.
I'm sure he greenlit some of the decisions.
But other than that, like, it should have been like Kid Cudi and Joel Kinnaman's character actually properly, like, teaming up somewhere, like when he went to his office, but then just when Joel Kinnaman just got the photos and then left, I was like, and then you don't see Kid Cudi until, again, like, near the end, which, as we know, is a staple in John Woo films. The two main characters,
heroic bloodshed.
Yeah, heroic bloodshed.
Yeah,
are supposed to be, like, at opposite ends, and then meet each other near the finale, and then fight with each other, like, towards the end against everyone. No, this just is like, no, I'm here, and it's just like.
No, the defense could be, well, John Woo wanted to do something different. That's fine. But you can't just leave us with that, just blue balls, just unsatisfying. You took us on this ride, a ride that people said was boring, a ride that people said is one of the worst action movies of the year, a ride of disappointment for a lot of people, a ride where there's just like, this is just the worst thing I've ever seen. I was on that ride. I enjoyed the ride. But then you fucking left us at fucking Walmart and drove away when you were supposed to take us home.
In Florida. In
In
Florida.
Florida. A Walmart with no physical Blu-rays. So it's like pointless to even be there. So I'm just so I want to show you this image. And everybody in chat right now, I want you guys to let me know your thoughts as well. When I saw this image, I have two thoughts, and you let me know what you think.
Mhm.
Right here. Is this number one? It looks like Joel Kinnaman's dual wielding, which we did not see in the film.
Yeah.
Number two, it's hard to tell, but is that supposed to be Kid Cudi next to him?
Yeah, that looks nothing like him.
No. So I'm thinking
Someone else was.
I'm thinking this is only made for a promotional shot. That's it. Because my first thought was, is there more action in the film? Is there more action in this movie? More action? Were they supposed to team up? This looks like a team up.
That's definitely looks like team up, and there might have been someone else involved that could have been, what's it called? That could have been not Kid Cudi, but someone else that was Kid Cudi's character.
Oh, right.
Who knows?
But yeah, I think that most likely this is probably a promotional shot.
Mhm.
But why fucking do this when this is not even
Yeah.
a goddamn movie? There
Yeah.
was no team up. Joel Kinnaman did not dual wield.
Mhm.
But this is what we wanted. God
Yes.
damn it. So I just want to show that. Let me know what you guys think on that image. Now that I've ranted, let me see. That looks like a recasted and deleted scene. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now that I've ranted and I got this out of my system, keep in mind, I was not one of these people that expected John Woo to come back and spank all the younglings.
Mhm.
I was not one of these people that was like, oh, he's going to make a movie just as good as Hard Boiled or better. That's insanity talking.
Yep.
Okay. He's 77 years old. Paycheck. Ben Affleck. Let's put this in perspective. But I
Fucking
still
manhunt. Fucking manhunt. And I
I'm
emphasize fucking manhunt.
I'm going to review Manhunt now. I'm going to do it. But anyway, so me not going in expecting Hardball 2, loving the fact that it's a scaled back John Woo film in terms of stylistic action, and loving the fact that it's kind of like his own little small genre film,
Mhm.
and it had a little 80s flair to it. Love the action, love the shooting, but yet still ended up having blue balls. I can't imagine everyone's high expectations. Like they must have fucking hated this movie, which it did because I saw the comments.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ. Now, all the issues I had before we get to our rating, all the issues I had with the finale, did that even bother you at all? You had other issues with the movie.
I definitely had a lot of issues with, like, again, it was definitely the fact that the fucking flashbacks kept happening nonstop. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I understand. Just focus on him having the PTSD. He's looking at photos. I like the transition they made with in the bed with the son, but then just to constantly go back to that fucking day. I was like, we get it.
Right. Right.
This movie should have been that's how it starts, like in Face Off. And
Right.
then on top of that, like, I really did not like the fact that we get Kid Cudi in the end just coming in and started blasting everyone. Like, I'm gonna help, but why? It could have made sense that he could have been like on the case trying to figure it out. They could have talked and then teamed up, but they didn't.
Was I not the only one that thought he was a bad guy?
There was
Look at his face. Look at his
Yeah.
face when he walks into the building at the end. He looks like a villain. He looks like, I'm here posing as a cop, but I'm also here to find this motherfucker and shoot him.
Yeah, which that could have been another subplot that we never got.
Yeah.
And by God, like,
And then they both
again,
could have shot each other and then slid the guns to each other at the end.
yeah. That could have been an interesting like concept. And
Right.
on top of that, yeah, the whole third act just shit on itself in the end. Like
I can't.
it.
I'm still in shock a little. And then it didn't help that I watched Equalizer 3 after this. That did not help at all. My love for Silent Night. Equalizer 3. I mean, I enjoyed Equalizer 3. I'll get to that in a minute. I understand the Equalizer's franchise's flaws. I get the flaws, but I enjoyed what I saw. It's the most violent in all three films. But anyway, I'll talk about Equalizer 3 in another day. But anyway, in terms of like satisfied, I was kind of like, God damn it.
It had its moments. That's it.
Right.
Silent Night had its moments, and
Right.
that's it.
Right.
That's really it. It had its moments.
But what are we going to rate it? What are we going to rate it? Let's get to it. Now that we got the rant out of the way. We talked about the good, the bad, the badass. It's out of the way now. You may be surprised when I'm actually going to give the film. Even though I'm sure you probably think I hate this movie. You're going to be surprised. But Kyle, you go first. Don't forget, C here on the channel is average. C is average. So Kyle, rate the movie and then rate the action.
I honestly am giving it a C minus.
Okay.
The only reason why it's C minus is the fact that, like, again, all the flaws I stated. But the fact is, I already knew it's like, I actually stated this. This is basically John Woo coming back to Hollywood for the first time since Paycheck.
Right.
And since fucking Manhunt. Fucking Manhunt. And that's ridiculous. Manhunt is fucking ridiculous. But like
I have to review this movie now.
Like
see it now.
Like the third act of this film, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna bitch about Manhunt because of this, because this one was just like, yeah. But the third act for this, I was just like, you know what? It ain't Manhunt. It ain't fucking. It's not Iceman. That is a bar. That's a bar. But no.
Okay, so you give the movie a C minus. What do you give the action?
The action, I give it a B. I actually give it a B. Like all, like you said, the clarity, the fact that John Woo knows how to show the action.
Yeah.
Minus certain things of like how, but everyone has to understand that this is not a movie that's supposed to be like John Wick or anything else, because again, the tactical type of action is right in certain movies. This one was not that. This is old school.
And it wouldn't have made sense for him to be that good and move like that.
No, he learned from the McDojo life, but also the side fact that this is a throwback to the 70s and 80s type of Death Wish revenge films that just a little updated, and the fact that we talked about it, it's like that's what makes sense. It does feel like that, but much more cleaner and to the point that grounded and realistic and updated.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. That's solid. C minus for the movie and a B for action. That works. Before I give you my rating, we got a little special guest right here.
Oh yeah.
Matt Merritt, filmmaker, director. He knows his action from Keep Forward Productions. Keep Forward. Let's hear what he had to say.
Hey, Movie Dojo. Happy New Year's. I hope everyone's doing well. So my review of Silent Night. I enjoyed it. It's probably John Woo's best movie in the last 10 years. It's better than Manhunt. Does it have problems? Absolutely. I felt like the end I wanted more at the end for the final guy, and I felt like the villain didn't really leave an impression on me. I like some of the editing. I like the cinematography. I like the score. They do overuse that music with his son throughout. And the no dialogue, I love that I love that it was a silent film. It was something different. A lot of people in the theaters were kind of surprised that it was had no dialogue. But John Woo, I think, is a visionary. I love what he sees on camera. Is it John Wick 4? No, but it's it's an okay John Woo movie. I'm gonna buy it on 4K, so that's kind of like my rating. If I buy a movie, then it's good enough. Did I want it to be better? Yes, but I enjoyed what I saw, and I hope John Woo continues. It was great to see a John Woo movie in the movie theater.
Hey, well done, brother. Well done.
and Matt says go into Manhunt blind. I would say go into Manhunt blind and deaf.
John, very well done, Matt. John, he deserves. John says you deserve the Redford, so let's make that happen.
Spell it, man.
That was brilliant, and our reaction to it was priceless. All right, so what did Samurai Guy think of the film? Now that I got the rant out of the way, let me get to it. Hold on. All right, I, believe it or not, am going to give the movie a B. I'm going to give it a B. It's not an A minus. It's not a B plus. I'm going to give the movie a B. Again, satisfied. I didn't have any of the issues that everybody else had. I was satisfied on the way to the end. And I'm going to give the B. I'm going to give the action a B plus. Again, John Wick Chapter 4 level of action. That's like A plus or A minus. Okay. But there's something about it being scaled back. There is something to that. The grittiness, the realism of it, as realistic as John Woo action scenes can be. Really enjoyed the action. I think, the stuntmen, the people that were involved, we always praise these guys, and they work hard, and they, always putting their lives on the line for our entertainment. And for that alone, again, I was satisfied until the finale. No, the finale nailed it. A plus, easy. I want to give the action, not the movie. I want to give the action an A plus, but I think a B plus is solid. And like my buddy Matt said, I will, believe it or not, I will buy this on 4K.
Oh, that actually looks nice.
Yeah, I will get if this is still the actual artwork for the 4K Steelbook, I will buy it. And if I did in Best Action Films of the Year, I would actually put Silent Night on it. It would be number 10. It would be at the bottom, but I enjoyed it enough that I think it deserves a spot. I wonder how we'll feel about it when we rewatch it, Kyle. What do you think? I mean, we won't know until we rewatch it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you'll still feel the same about it? Or you may forgive it a little bit more now that we know what's coming?
I think we would need to come back in 2 years and call it, is it underrated, or is it underrated in 2 years? We might have to do that for it.
Well, I never thought I would love The Corruptor now. I mean, that took a lot longer than 2 years. But I always enjoyed The Corruptor, but I love that movie now. Kind of similar of why, Replacement Killers is John Woo highly stylized. That was the whole point, was to homage him in that movie. And I'm more of a Replacement Killers fan than The Corruptor, but I love the fact that The Corruptor is not that now.
Yeah.
I love the fact that The Corruptor is not, Mark Wahlberg sliding like the big hit.
Yeah.
Rolling, spinning down the stair. I love how it's gritty, violent, to the point. Boom, you're dead. In that movie. It's, there's all sorts of action type of styles and genres out there. And that's why we love this genre. That's why we love action and martial arts movies, man. Let's see. What we have the debate for Die Hard. What
do you think it's a Christmas film?
Sure. Why? Well, it's Christmas themed everywhere.
Yep.
He's running in the beginning of the movie with a Christmas sweater on.
If I have to say it this way, it's not a Hallmark film.
Yeah, there's levels.
There's levels.
There's levels to the Christmas movie there. But yeah, overall, I didn't until the 70% of the film, 65% to 70, I enjoyed. And the action was good. It had a lot more action in it than I expected because people were saying it was the most boring action movie ever. Just some bad decisions at the end.
And it's called build up, people. It's called build up.
Yeah, build up, and you got to nail the ending. Because what's the fucking point of the build up?
Yeah,
know,
everyone's just too in tune of like, yeah, we just want this now. Give it now. And it's like, okay, then we'll just make a shit movie.
But that is it. Yes, thank you guys so much. Finally get to saw Silent Night. Finally get to talk about it with my brother, who also knows his action genre.
Thank you so much.
He is an expert. He hasn't led me wrong yet with his.
I think I've turned into what friends call me, or this one friend calls me. He's like, "Yeah, you're basically that film professor that talks about what do the blue drapes mean? It doesn't mean about is it mean his sadness or anything? No, the drapes were blue. That's what he fucking meant. I'm turning into that fucking film professor now, and I fucking hate it."
You know what? I changed my review. I'm giving this 0. I'm giving it a 0 now. I'm sorry. I'm giving it an F- now because there weren't any doves in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
See?
No doves.
No doves. No doves, no love.
Yep.
That's it. If he would have had doves in the movie.
But we did get one bird. We did get one bird.
He's changing species.
Yes.
Or he's changing. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Thanks, Sumo. Yeah, so literally I'll just ask like one actor. So Tommy Wiseau, what were you thinking about when you were making the room? Were you aiming for her stomach?
Let's go eat, huh?
Let's go eat, huh?
So Kyle, how's your sex life?
What a funny story.
Hi, doggy. Hi, doggy.
I think every one of my responses would be like, "Oh, what a funny story."
Cheap. Everyone who has not seen the room are like, what the fuck are they doing right now? But yeah, we have fun here. It's what it's all about. Yes. But yeah, I still recommend Silent Night. Check it out for yourself. You know, if you don't want to pay for it, wait till it's free, and check it out. It's just now that you know, lower 0 expectations for the finale.
Yep.
You get you get Baby Boss or whatever the fuck that movie's called. But yeah, always a blast. Check out The Exterminator 2: Electric Boogaloo. It's one of the best action revenge B movies of the 80s. It's amazing. Check it out. I'm plugging movies. I'm not even sponsored, bro, because I just love movies. Oh my goodness. Kyle, before we wrap it up for today, anything going on? Anything happening in the world of Wong?
So far, just
stay tuned.
Yeah, just stay tuned, guys. Thank you for all the support and everything else. Thank you for having me again. Preston, really appreciate the Movie Dojo Army. I love you guys. I can't wait to be on the next one when I can. Yeah, I'm sure. And y'all know what you need to do, how to file a complaint against Kyle. Follow Kyle in the description box below. His Instagram, all on Facebook, all that stuff's good there. Check it out and file. What's in this coffee, man? What's going on? Oh my goodness. But yeah, thank all of you badasses for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one, baby. More movie reviews coming up, action, martial arts, horror. We're going to be having some guests, actual badass, talented filmmakers in the Movie Dojo podcast next week. If you're a channel member or Patreon, you get to find out who's coming. That's right. Keep you guys in the loop, in the know. Keep watching action movies and genre films. Keep representing. And I'll see you guys
on the next one. Take care.